Hello everyone, this is Kazrahim bringing you another tank review. Today is a long-awaited tank review, finally from Tier 10 and my little Tier 10 matchup. I only have 3 Tier 10s at the moment, but still. I never did a Tier 10 matchup, a Tier 10 tank review, so I wanted to go ahead and start out with my very first Tier 10 tank. And honestly, one of my favorites at the moment. But that's mainly because I don't have a lot of them. And the tank is the T110E5 American Tier 10 heavy tank that you get if you go to the line through the T29, the T32, and then finally the M103. This tank is one of the best Tier 10 tanks in the game in terms of heavy tanks. If you're thinking about why, well, maybe it doesn't have the most superb armor ever, but the armor is quite trollish. It has great speed for a heavy tank, good maneuverability, a fantastic gun, a very good rate of fire, good view range, signal range. The only downside is that huge weak spot, but we're gonna get into that in a moment. So, let's start off with a little bit of stats. This tank is fully elite once you research it. Once you get the E5 unlocked on the M103, you basically have everything unlocked. The grind is a little bit longish because it's 185,000 experience without including everything else on the M103, but I highly encourage you actually elite out the M103 before getting the E5, because the M103 in its own respect is just a little bit weaker E5. So you can think of the E5 like a much more powerful M103. Well, not much more powerful, faster firing, better armored, better speed, but with a weak spot, with a gigantic weak spot. So let's go into the stats. 2,200 hit points, which is quite low for a Tier 10 heavy. If you consider the mouse has 3,000, the E100 has 2,700 I think. So yeah, those tanks have way more. The IS-4 I think also has more. Let's actually check out how much more the IS-4 has hit points than the E5. Where are you? Let's check out both of those tanks. They don't come fully allied, but a gun doesn't change the hit points. So yeah, the IS-4 has 2,500 and the IS-7 has 2,150, but I can see that being logical. So, life is pretty decent. It's nothing, like tremendously awesome, but it's good. It's good at the moment where it is. It weighs 4.6 tons, fully upgraded with a crew and fully kitted out with equipment, while having a 875 horsepower engine, which is quite good. It doesn't give it the 20 tons to 20 horsepower to ton ratio, but it's close. For a heavy tank it's close. It's very fast for a heavy tank. Well, if you're not considering the French tanks, which are basically the main selling point is autoloaders and speed and maneuverability. So it has a speed limit of 37 kilometers per hour, which is quite good. It will reach that speed limit without a big problem. Quite honestly, very fast even to be exact. 32 traverse speed on the tracks and 32 to the traverse, giving us a total of 62 traverse, meaning most of the time you should not be circled. If you can rotate your hull while also rotating your turret, there's not a lot of tanks that can out traverse you in that respect. So let's go into the armor of this tank. The armor is quite a weird thing. 254 armor on the hull's front, 76 in the sides, 38 in the rear, 203 in the front of the turret, 127 on the sides, 70 in the rear. What that means, if this thing is facing straight towards you and is hiding this side of the tank, then you're gonna have problems with penetrating the E5. The E5 actually has very strong hull armor, which is something weird, something that you don't get on the Americans. Americans are not known for a great hull armor, they are known for a great turret armor. But I noticed that the top tier Americans have that the Americans actually started thinking of a hunter-killer system back in those times, and it required them to give a commander some kind of a turret of its own, and this is what this is. It's somewhat, yeah, a weird thing. It's not even the hunter-killer system introduction thing, like you get, for example, on this. The M103, actually this side of the turret is a fully rotating turret on its own. So while the gunner fires on a target somewhere, the commander finds the optional target and then points the turret at that direction. So this doesn't look like it, honestly. I'm not sure, but yeah, it just doesn't fit the whole concept. Same goes for, like, when I say that top tier Americans. This thing, the M48 pattern also, see? But this is a hunter-killer system, I think. It looks like it is, but yeah, with World of Tanks you don't see the crevices and stuff like that, so you are not sure if this is a whole completely rotating turret. But the fact that you have a gun that only can go up and down means that probably it is a completely separate part of the turret, which can be rotated independently of the turret. So, going back into the armor on the M103. One thing you have to take notice of, well, the armor isn't flat on the front. You can see there's quite a bit of angling going on, and plus it has the same tendency that the M103 has, and on the M103 it's even more clearly visible. It's like a curved shape, and also the armor itself is curved towards the middle. Same goes for the lower plate. That means even if someone is shooting your lower and upper plates, they can bounce from them even while having superior penetration, just because of those little curves. So if you angle your tank a little bit, you actually, from this angle I would shoot over here, but if you do something like this, then the M103 becomes a monster in terms of frontal armor. If you can hide your hull, your back of the tank, and just show this, then yeah, people will have amazing problems while penetrating your turret, hull front. Turret as it goes, well, honestly, you don't get penetrated a lot. It doesn't have that huge gap that the M103 has. You can see the M103, if you put a shot right into here, it goes into the turret ring and does full damage, or bounces off the gun mantlet and goes into the hull of the tank. The E5 actually doesn't feel like that. The E5 feels a little bit more resilient in that matter. But the main disadvantage is this. While it can bounce, I will not tell you that it cannot bounce. This upper part actually is the part that bounces a lot. You can see there's a lot of angling going on that. And it will bounce a lot of shots. And this is a no hitbox. If you shoot this searchlight, which is actually I think an infrared light, you will not get any damage. So if you're shooting this weak spot, actually I will recommend you to shoot at this not shiny part. At this thing, because this has a lot less angling going on. This is not only it is angled like this, but it's always angled like this, and plus there's a machine gun port which is also like curved all the way around. So yeah, shooting this can bounce, but the lower part of it not so much. Cheeks, you can see the cheeks are very well angled, so there's not a lot of things that you can shoot on the sides of the gun mantlet. Gun mantlet is almost impenetrable. Sides of the tank, I wouldn't, there's nothing much to talk. It's American tank. You just put a shot in the sides and watch it burn. Back, HE ammo all the way around. Most tanks on tier 8 and above have enough penetration and HE ammo to inflict full damage on the back of a E5. As for weak spots, in terms of critical damage as goes, yeah, obviously one is commander. The gunner and loader are... Well, the gunner, because there is a loader, so the gunner and loader are over here, I think. Ammo racking hits can be gotten on this backplate and below the turret. Also there's a weird spot over here. You can see those clamps, those are for towing the vehicle. If you shoot on the lower plate and penetrate from this kind of angle, you can get an ammo racking hit. It seems that the ammo deposits are over here. And the shot just doesn't encounter anything on the way through, so it can reach those and destroy you. Engine obviously is right below the turret over here. the turret's back that is in the air, so you can shoot here and destroy the engine, and yeah, that's roughly it. There's nothing much more to tell. The driver is right in front, so if you penetrate the lower plate, you will do damage to the driver. So yeah, that's it for the armor. Crew consists of 4 guys, but we'll get into them in a second. So let's get to the main thing of this tank. The gun. The gun is the same gun you get on the M103. That's why I recommend you get the M103 fully upgraded before you get the E5. From one point of view, it's saving you a ton of experience if you go straight for the E5, because you will get the gun when you get the E5, but you will miss out on one of the most awesome tier 9 tanks in the game. There's not a lot of weak tier 9s, but the M103 is basically a monster class. It's a monster its own respect. A tier 9 with this kind of gun, it just rips apart. So the gun has a rate of fire of 6 rounds per minute, 258 penetration average with normal shells, and heat shells actually have 340. 400 average damage, 0.35 accuracy, which is quite low, but that's the main thing about Americans, that while they don't have amazing accuracy, it's still good enough. It's something that I encountered because I started relying on accuracy more and more, and just the fact that the Americans have somewhere in the rounds of 0.35 and above is actually taking a toll on most of my shots. I'm not particularly fond of fighting in close encounters in ranges below 300 meters most of the time. I like to start off my games from afar, and those guns will have problems from ranges beyond 300 meters with trying to aim at weak spots. Well, this has enough penetration to go even without aiming at weak spots, but that's a whole different story. This gun actually got nerfed in the 8.7 patch, if I remember, or 8.6. 8.6, when they increased the accuracy, the penetration of some tier 10 guns, including this one, got nerfed. It was actually 269 millimeters of penetration, so 11 penetration was taken away from it. But it's still a very good gun. It's a very, very good gun. Rate of fire, maybe it seems not very awesome, 6 rounds per minute. That means in 10 seconds it reloads in 10 seconds, but the real reload time with a fully upgraded crew, a gun rammer, and ventilation is somewhere around 8 point something. So 8 seconds, 8.5 seconds, let's say. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I played my M103 yesterday, but the E5 yesterday, but I'm not entirely sure about it. Aim time is very good, 2 seconds. Meaning you can, most of the time you can just snapshot like a boss and inflict horrible, horrible damage to your enemies. So, as for ammo loadout, I carry a lot of AP shells, normal AP shells, 36 rounds, 4 heat shells for those encounters with mouses. But honestly, I'm starting to know how to fight mouses, how to handle them. Same for E100s, Yak Panzers, E100. I just carry those few rounds for that, you know, guaranteed penetrating hit on those. And I have 2 HE shells, which actually, this is one of the very few tanks that I actually use HE. It seems that just having 2 rounds, I always have that in the back of my head, and when I'm in a tough spot, I actually use the HE to do something. In terms of consumables, yeah, the standard consumables, I'm not using gold consumables on this tank. Actually, you can skip out something from this. I would say the fire extinguisher. You can skip out the fire extinguisher for something more useful, like 100 octane gasoline to further increase your speed, or actually a case of cola. Plus 10% to all your crew skills and perks. That can be a very good one. So that's that. Equipment, yeah, it's my usual heavy tank setup. It's vertical stabilizer Mark II, improved ventilation Mark III, class 3, and large caliber gun tank rammer. Reasons behind it, obviously, rammer on a heavy tank is not. This 95% of the time is the only option you can hope to go. The difference being the auto-loading tanks, they don't use gun rammers, obviously. and maybe the IS-7, but I wouldn't say so. Ventilation helps out with everything, honestly, on the crew. Helps out with everything, with speed, with reloads, with aim times and stuff like that. I like to have ventilation on my tanks. And vertical stabilizer, there's a discussion going on vertical stabilizer instead of enhanced gun laying drive instead of vertical stabilizer. I personally prefer the vertical stabilizer on this tank because I find myself often shooting on the move and not just standing there and trying to aim something. The aim speed is already good enough, so having that aiming circle just 20% smaller right at the start while you're fully moving can actually help out a lot. Some people would want to go with coated optics to further increase the view range. 400 view range is a very good view range, but I'm not one of them. I don't think it's useful. Same for the heavy spar liner. If you're feeling like RT just hates you and focuses only on you, then maybe a heavy spar liner instead of like ventilation, but I wouldn't recommend it. I recommend the set that I have. As for crew skills, well, crew. This is actually a crew that I started using on... Well, I received as a present the T-34, and the T-34 crew is my E5 crew. I have my E5 crew all the time on the T-34. That's why they already have third skill. I didn't play that many games with this tank to have third skill. First of all, I went for 6 cents on the commander and repairs on the rest of the guys, just to have that, you know, the factor that I can get out of any pinch. Because repairing tracks and stuff like that, it's a big part of playing well with a tank. In my case, I don't like using my repair kits for tracks, so I like to have a good repair crew, especially on heavy tanks. Second skill for the commander is repairs, of course. Snapshot, clutch braking, and safe stowage. Safe stowage isn't that needed, but I find that the gunner or the loader always lacks a good skill. So if you're not going for safe stowage, there's roughly nothing all that much important on him. You can go with adrenaline rush or intuition, but that's like the 4th or 5th skill. I don't feel like they are so much significant. And camouflage is also some way of spending skill points on him. Second skills for them would be like, let's just check out the crew. So for the commander, actually I'm gonna go after Broad in Arms into Recon or Situation Awareness, because he's also the radio operator. The one radio operator that you care for when he's the commander. But yeah, Situation Awareness, Recon, just to increase that view range. And then honestly, there's nothing much that you can like think of positively. Maybe Eagle Eye to get those to see critical damage on the tanks that you shoot. Second guy, the driver, off-road driving and smooth ride. Those two, hands down. Reduces ground resistance while driving on soft and moderately soft terrain, meaning you will be even faster. You will accelerate faster on sand and stuff like that on muddy terrain. And smooth ride increases fire accuracy when firing on the move. So again, it just improves even more what you get from vertical stabilizer. And gunner, armorer, and Deadeye. Yeah, armorer first increases accuracy of a damage gun. There will be situation where you will have your gun knocked out and you will need it. And Deadeye, just because there's nothing more to actually get. You can see my crew is now walking on Broaden in Arms. I found that I'm not gonna... I stopped using gold to... not gold... I stopped using credits to... Like right now I have a crew with 2.5 skills. I stopped dropping skills, going here, and you see now I have 44% in my third skill, and I would drop to one skill at 100% and the second skill on 99%. So that it's a waste of time, honestly, all the time, most of the time, especially on higher skill levels. So I prefer actually to start off a skill like six cents or something like that, and just allow it to go forward. Just supplement the crew with some good skills in the meantime. Like, let's check out. I think what I'm talking about, maybe on this thing? Nope. On my medium tank I have that. Yeah. You can see my FV4202 is very weird because my command is going with mentor, the gunner and the driver are going for repairs, and my loader is going for camouflage. Very weird setup. Same goes for this tank, the T69. T69 also started out on skills. And this is the way I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna start off with main skills, then go into repairs, then go into broadened arms and stuff like that. I want to try that approach, because the approach that I have now, just like, I forfeit a lot of experience just to continue on with what I'm doing, to have the skills that I want to, while not paying any gold for it. So yeah, that will be it for the garage review. So let's look at some games. So here's the first bit of gameplay. I'm playing with Nez, he's in his T69, I'm in my E5, we're playing on Elrenberg. No one knows where that shot went. How did I bounce off a pattern? That's the biggest mystery of this game today. And you can see my repair crew kicking in. Honestly, very derp moment for me, because I didn't do nothing, but then again Les just died, so... Not less, Nez just died. I put another shot in the pattern, bounce off a hit from him on the front of my turret. Get hit by Artie, cause Artie is awesome. Artie knows who to position. I did my shot on the pattern, but I bounce a shot from the object. So as I said, this actually has very good armor. People neglect the fact of the armor of them one of T110E5. So backing out a little bit, you can see I bounce off the top of my turret, I bounce off the lower plate. So quite a few very good shots, but we are up against Object 268 and a mouse. So yeah, that's gonna be a little bit difficult. After this game I'm gonna show you one game that will excellently show you the weak spots of this tank. In terms like, it's a game I had yesterday and it was quite a disaster in terms of how I was annoyed. Now I'm aiming at the frontal plate of the mouse, but it completely didn't go in. Probably hit some kind of a, you know, something was in my way. Artie just enjoys trying to snipe me. There's honestly not a lot of things you can do to a mouse from this kind of range, unless you can aim at his lower plate. So, oh, here he comes. There she blows. Trying to aim at his lower plate, and it goes in, damaging him for 400 damage. And this mouse had no idea how to play a mouse. Now he completely ignores angling at all. Gets shredded by us. Artie continues on to be a douche. It seems that Artie has a hard-on for me in this game, cause he already fired like 4 shots trying to kill me. All missed. Sucks to be you. So we're pushing forward. The other flank is just like standing there, not doing anything. This is one of the better damage matches in 8.8 that I had. Completely don't know where that shot went, but I tracked him. Now I'm just trying to position myself so I can shoot, but unfortunately he moves around me, so I move forward. Check out, do I see the T30? Yes I do. Shoot the T30. Back out. I get hit from the right side of the map. What? So a little bit weird, but the 140 is standing right in front of me, giving me shots on him. Now I do a little bit of side scraping. This tank is designed to side scrape, and I finish him off. As all Americans, it really can work good if you know how to side scrape. So I'm moving forward. Unfortunately the other side isn't moving at all. They are counting that 3 tanks that are encountering more and more enemies every second are gonna do the whole damage. I get hit in my weak spot, and Object 704 and Artie, yay! So I back out. repair my turret, hide myself, and wait for my team to start moving. Look at those guys, the Kazrahim Ep12, and that thing in the corner. I'm actually gonna check what that is. The E75, so I say to them, move fuckers, because I'm getting highly annoyed with those. Yeah, just giving them a little bit motivational speak to start moving. The other flank started moving finally, but it's just those guys on that hill, they refuse to think, they refuse to be intelligent beings. And not having Nurse around because he died in the start is not improving my chances of winning this game also. So I'm just sticking here cause yeah, I'm not in the position to move forward. I have 14 life. I know there's an Object 704 waiting for me over there. I know that the RT has a hard-on for me. The VK is starting to go slowly forward. That's the tier 9 VK. Also the E75 moved his ass out of the border of the map and now he's going downwards. I'm guessing that guy is either bot or he completely doesn't know how to play World of Tanks. Maybe he's a kid. Maybe he's like a 6-year-old who plays World of Tanks on his father's account or something. I don't mind it, but yeah, just people like that are not helping the game at all. Everyone can play this game, it's just that you at least think, learn at least a little bit. I put a beautiful shot on the one from way across the map. How far is that? No, I won't see. I am a second shot, but he probably was hidden behind something, so it didn't hit. Now they started moving, finally something's happening, my team is moving forward, they are pushing in. I'm just sitting here, waiting for the situation to develop, looking, oh I see the T110E5.
We didn't even scratch them.
Unfortunately nope, probably hit his tracks. You can see this gun is quite accurate, but it has its issues. Now I'm loading heat shells because I'm thinking I have to take this guy out. He will do significant damage to my teammates. So first shot in, he's 400 damage less. Waiting for some spots, because shooting gold without spots is a little bit of a bad idea. But he got hit by something, I spotted, he got spotted and I shot again with a gold round, but changing now to normal rounds. That's exactly why you want to use gold rounds, when you have those situations when you're forced to use golds, because it will win you the game. I wouldn't be able to penetrate him probably from this kind of distance without gold, especially since I didn't see a whole lot of him. But this is clearly, you know, we are cleaning up. There's only 4 tanks on the enemy team left. I'm waiting for the Object 704 to be spotted, because I don't want to die. I have a good score, why would I want to die? 4,300 damage done. And you can see the VK just died because of the Object 704, so... I actually don't know if I survived this game. I want 2 things to be dead. That one and the G-dub. Critical hit for no damage, as always. G-dub got spotted, but he's gonna be outside of my view range. I got the Object 704 and the G-dub gets killed, so yeah, let's look at the second game. And here's the second game. It's an encounter on mines. I'm playing alone. And I see there's a huge ton of us coming here. There honestly won't be a spot for me. So I'm gonna use the speed of this tank. And I'm actually gonna change my position. And I wanted to show you guys this game. It was yesterday, on my yesterday's live stream. I wanted to show you this because there was a situation in this game where I was quite pissed at the E5 with one fact. You're gonna see why very soon. This was a win, amazingly. And I didn't have a bad score with this game also. It's not like, you know, a single replay review material, but it had its moments. So I'm moving forward. I see there is a ton of tanks on the hilltop, so I'm moving forward, trying to get some shots out. Looking at the... oh, Yak Tiger, come forward. Nope, he's not. then I'm not gonna shoot. It's a waste of a shell. M103, and that's exactly what I'm saying. See that? That's what you gotta expect. I am not able to see that T-54, but he can shoot at the uttermost top part of my commander's cupola and penetrate it. I'm just like checking out, and I'm like, on live stream I was raging hard. I was like, what the hell? How the hell did he damage me? But there was a gold shell. You could hear the gold shell ring. I put one in the Jagdtiger, fall back. They're in a very strong position over here, so there's no point in me charging up, especially since that T-54 will try to take hits at my commander's head. So I'm going back. As I said, your armor is very good, your mobility and agility is very good, but that weak spot is the biggest downside you can have in this kind of tank. We don't have a lot of presence on this field. I'm waiting for I thought that the pattern will come over here so I can like inflict some damage to him while the Leopard prototype will, you know, survive a little bit. But I'm just like looking around left and right. I'm looking at what's happening. What can I do to ensure this game? I move forward, see the Jagdtiger, take a wild shot, get a shot in the tracks, repair my tracks because I don't want to be in that spot. Pattern finishes off our Leopard, unfortunately. I'm waiting because I see IE-100 coming up the hill. Critical hit in the frontal plate of the turret of the IE-100, probably Gunner. Put one in the T-54. I was so satisfied about this shot. I was like, ah, suits you right, you bastard. This guy had some kind of luck that he wasn't around when I was aiming at him. Waiting for the T-54, but then I think to myself, okay, I have to finish off this E-50. I poorly aimed that one. I should have aimed at the commander's hatch or at the flat sides of the turret. E-100 coming forward. I put a hit into him, light him up on fire. Bye bye, Mr. E-100. So that's one kill. Our team is capping pretty hard. Highly angled lower plate of the E-50. Don't care. One hit, one kill. Reload, turn around, see pattern, shoot, pattern dead, game captured, win. So let's go back into the garage for a final review up. So, the T110E5. You saw from the games, it has a very potent gun. It's quite fast, agile. I would say one of the very few tier 10 tanks that I enjoy. I played a lot of them on another account to check it out, but I didn't have the... well, I didn't enjoy those tanks as much as I do this tank. That's why it was my very first tier 10. And I have to say the combination of firepower, speed, maneuverability and armor is excellent in this tank. If it didn't have that weak spot on the top, it would be probably the best tier 10 heavy tank. Cause it would have no downsides. But unfortunately it has that weak spot, you have to compensate for it. You can try to hide it with some kind of like go around a corner and hide this side of the turret, but then again, if you're aiming your gun at something, you're showing this weak spot. Even if it's just this tiny bit, you're doing it anyway. Hull isn't that important in terms of like hiding it. You can angle it and have great success with it. But yeah. That was the E5's review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you think it was informative. Next week I will try to do also something interesting in terms of a review. Maybe every second week I'll do a review. Cause there's not a lot of tanks that I can cover anymore, and I want my time to think about it, to get good games and stuff like that. So, that's it. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed and you found this review informative. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Kazrahim. And I'll see you on the battlefield.